Mixed reality is revolutionizing the way we work today, and it's only going to accelerate from here. Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Jamie Keene, and I'm delighted to be your host for our session today. As a product director here at Meta, my job is to help companies adopt new technologies to make their employees feel more connected, collaborative, and empowered at work. Now, today, we're going to talk about three things: why businesses are using mixed reality today, how our ecosystem continues to innovate, and what to look for later this year. Now, mixed reality isn't just the future of work. It's delivering real value today, not just for people at home, but for businesses too. And that business use can be easy to overlook. It's fair to say that gaming consumers have been the driving force behind the success of VR to date. But if you look at the history of technology adoption, from the desktop computer to the internet to the cell phone, time and time again, you see how important businesses are to the spread of new technology at scale. Think about it. Most people didn't know what a PC was until they saw one in their office. They didn't know how versatile a cell phone could be until they started sending work emails from a BlackBerry. But once they'd gotten a taste of how useful these devices were, they adopted them not only at the office, they brought them into their home. And nothing about this was inevitable. The earliest PCs were expensive and hard to use. The first cell phones came in a briefcase, and there was a time when sending an email was barely quicker than sending a letter. And yet each time, there were also the innovators and the entrepreneurs, those who saw the awesome potential of new technology to make things better. They built great tools and experiences for businesses, and each new technology took off, first in the office and then at home. The same thing is happening now with mixed reality. So let's talk about how businesses are using mixed reality today. We've seen MR driving business outcomes in 4 key areas. The first is learning and development. Companies are simulating real-world scenarios so that people who do dangerous jobs, like surgeons, airline pilots, or firefighters, can practice in a safe space. They're also running soft skills training for things like role-playing customer engagements, running DE&I experiences, or onboarding new hires. The second area is creativity and design. So I want you to think about building information modeling, where clients can inspect a building's digital twin and spot design issues early in the process. Or product designers collaborating on 3D models and testing virtual prototypes, all without the costs of physical mock-ups. Now, third, we've got meetings and collaboration. Here, we're seeing how technology can transport people into immersive spaces, enabling better collaboration, more productive meetings, even when everyone can't be in the same place, which is perfect for client presentations or brainstorming sessions. And finally, there's building community. Now, this is one I feel really strongly about because giving people the power to build community is at the heart of Meta's mission. And how we work is a huge part of that. Mixed reality is providing spaces where workers can understand what's happening at the company, discover each other easily, and co-work throughout the day. And it's providing event spaces where people can feel more connected, both to the presenters and one another. We're already working with hundreds of companies who are putting these solutions into practice. And today, we're lucky enough to be joined by one of them. I'm absolutely delighted to introduce you to Ronan Kelly, Global Director of Pfizer's Smart Factory. He's going to tell you a story about how MR supported the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine. And I don't mean to sound dramatic, but it actually helped save lives.
Hi, Jamie. I'm delighted to be here to share a little about Pfizer's mixed reality journey. I want to take you back to late 2020. It's maybe a period that some of you aren't too keen to remember. We were right in the middle of a global lockdown, and for us at Pfizer, it became a race to find a vaccine that could save lives and help the world return to normal. After some heroic work by our scientists and our partners, our COVID-19 vaccine was approved in December 2020. But that was really just the start. Once the vaccine was approved, Pfizer needed to produce billions of doses of this life-saving medicine, and we had to do it fast. That meant we needed to train hundreds of new operators, but with plants running 24/7 under strict social distancing guidelines, training on the shop floor was off limits. On top of that, the vaccine introduced these complex new processes to both newly hired and seasoned operators. Trainees needed lots of practice and the guidance of expert trainers before they could develop the necessary competence. Because we had limited access to the physical space, we built a digital twin of our production lines, recreating the environment for immersive training. Then we had to translate a 100-page standard operating procedure document into a suite of VR training apps to create the hands-on learning experience. By delivering training away from the busy vaccine filling lines and allowing operators to repeat training tasks in their own time, our employees were able to learn in a practical but less pressured environment. We were able to develop behavioral training to teach best practices, including proper aseptic technique, by leveraging MetaQuest's haptic and speed tracking features. Here is a short video that shows our solution in action.
Hello everyone, my name is Nicholas Hockley and I am the product manager for the virtual reality design and development team at Pfizer Digital Manufacturing. In this video, you are seeing how we use virtual reality technology to address training challenges during the COVID-19 pandemic. We were able to successfully deploy over 500 MetaQuest 2 devices to train new operators across various sites. We also were able to address behavioral training and teach good manufacturing practices using the MetaQuest haptic speed tracking features.
The questions I've been asked a few times: why did we think MR was the right solution? And why did we partner with MetaQuest? For me, there are many factors that made sense. The digital manufacturing smart factory team at Pfizer empowers our manufacturing colleagues with innovative digital solutions to make their jobs easier. And when presented with this challenge, the smart factory team quickly identified VR as the right tool for the job. That's why we decided to partner with MetaQuest. For us, it was about trust and familiarity. MetaQuest is among the most recognized names in VR, if not the most recognized name. The devices have earned a reputation for high-quality, immersive experiences, and Pfizer believes familiarity with the product helps to encourage adoption among new users. Practically speaking, all Quest devices are simple to set up for end users. In 2022, we met our commitment to manufacture more than 4.5 billion doses of the COVID-19 vaccine worldwide. Training in VR helped make this possible. For example, by implementing VR in just one of our production lines, we were able to reduce training time by over 40%. That translates into $23,000 in savings for every trainer or trainee pair. Apart from the vaccine production team, we offered 40 team members the chance to experience a virtual training workshop in our Pfizerverse training space. We delivered a 3D replica of a complex production line, and the trainees were taught about processes involved in sterile injectable manufacturing, learning live with their trainer as they would in person. When asked if they'd rather learn this content through VR or traditional methods, it was no surprise to us that 87% voted in favour of VR. Before handing it back to Jamie, I would like to congratulate our Smart Factory team on winning 4 VR industry recognised awards, including an infamous Oggy. I really do feel privileged to have such a great team and supportive leadership to pursue these amazing projects. What started off as an innovative pilot ended up scaling to a vital tool in getting our manufacturing colleagues upskilled and on the production floor 40% quicker. It's still early days for us, but we're off to an incredible start with MR, and I know there's great things to come.
Thank you, Ronan. You know, it's really humbling to hear a story like that. And I love how it hits on a bunch of the areas we've already talked about. Design, training, collaboration. It's perfect. Next up, let's talk about another great example of an organization using mixed reality. This story comes from University College London and their prestigious research institution called the UCL School of Pharmacy. Now, the School of Pharmacy solves hard problems. Think cancer and neuroscience drug development. So you can imagine that effective collaboration really matters here. And also, the equipment they're using is really expensive and highly specialized. Now, they've got two problems. One, all of this expensive equipment takes ages to arrive because there's hardly anyone in the world who builds it, and there are a lot of research institutes competing for attention. And then two, UCL is part of a global network of research labs, and they all need to work together. If they can't do that effectively, you get inconsistencies and miscommunication with labs running different experiments in different places. And not to state the obvious, but anything that slows down the discovery of life-saving cancer drugs is bad. So all of this is the problem of Dr. Stephen Hilton, who leads the team at Lab 427 at UCL. His big idea? Use MR to help. To reduce costs and save time on lab equipment, Dr. Hilton's team turned to 3D modeling and printing. Using VR and 3D printers together, the lab team could actually design and make their own equipment. So instead of waiting several days for equipment to arrive, they could produce it themselves in a matter of hours. In fact, they got so good at this, they partnered with a German equipment manufacturer and developed a groundbreaking flow chemistry system. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of what that system does, but the net result is that by designing and collaborating in VR, UCL and the German manufacturer cut years, not months, actual years off their time to market. Now, to improve collaboration with other labs, Dr. Hilton's team went back to MR to build the Virtual Flow Chemistry Institute. This is a virtual space where researchers can share learnings, fast-track research, and even run experiments remotely. They also created a digital twin of their physical lab at UCL, which included AI avatars of their staff, so they could communicate with their partner labs 24/7, regardless of time zone. And at the end of all of this, Dr. Hilton was able to go back to university administrators and show them £600,000 in estimated savings from VR design and 3D printing, as well as even more cost savings from the fact that it took 80% less time to develop and launch the new flow chemistry system. Dr. Hilton couldn't be here today, but when we asked him to sum up the impact of working with MR, he said, "It's changed our lives entirely." What an amazing result for such important research. Okay, I think we've got time for one more example. We hit the pharma sector pretty hard, so let's talk about something different. As I mentioned before, businesses are leveraging mixed reality to improve the way they make things and work together. Millions of people have already used Quest devices for work. But we're also seeing businesses innovate in mixed reality to serve their customers better too. And my favorite example of this is Lufthansa. We're going to roll a quick video here. What you're looking at here is a mixed reality experience that I was lucky enough to try myself. It lets any customer get a feel for Lufthansa's new first-class cabin without actually needing to get on a plane. It's sort of a try before you buy, but for an airline seat. Now, normally, Lufthansa would take physical seats to exhibitions all around the world. You can imagine that isn't particularly fun logistically. With mixed reality, they've been able to put over 10,000 customers through their new experience in just 6 months, all while saving 90% in costs. Isn't that amazing? And it only scratches the surface of how much Lufthansa is doing with VR, especially for training. They're using MetaQuest to get engineers up to speed on critical engine maintenance. They're improving the performance of customer service agents by replicating scenarios in VR. And they're even training stewards to spot hazardous substances on flights. Not some stewards, by the way, all 20,000 of them. I absolutely love these stories. We're so proud that MetaQuest is fueling this kind of success, and we know our hardware is only part of the story. It's the experiences you have in VR that really bring all that magic to life. And without the people who create those experiences, our ISV and technology partners, we'd just be selling a beautiful piece of plastic and glass. So let's talk about how our ecosystem of partners continues to innovate and build business-critical solutions. A lot of our focus in the last 18 months has been developing partnerships to bring more VR experiences to the MetaQuest App Store and to integrate them directly into our products. In fact, we now have more than 900 independent software vendors developing work content today, which means we've got a wide range of applications that map to the 4 use cases we've been discussing. Now, I've had the opportunity to talk with some of the founders and leaders at these ISVs, and I am consistently inspired by their passion for MR technology. We're talking about people who've been doing this for a decade or sometimes even more. People who quit really good, safe jobs because they tried an Oculus Rift dev kit and then took a leap of faith. The energy and excitement that I get from this community is amazing. Now, sadly, we don't have enough time to go in all the conversations I've had over the last 12 months, so I'm going to share just one quick story. I was talking to a CEO and asked him if he thought that VR could be as big as mobile. He looked at me like maybe I was crazy, and I was worried. He says, "No way." Long pause, and then, "It's going to be much bigger than mobile." Pretty great, right? Building out this network and making sure our catalog continues to grow is a big priority for us. So we've put together a little Sizzle Reel to celebrate some of our recent launches and give you a preview of some cool stuff that's coming soon. Okay, we ran through a bunch of great stuff there, so I want to pause for a second on some of the amazing experiences and huge names that we've already brought to our Quest devices this year. In June, we launched Adobe's Substance 3D Modeler app, which lets creative people sculpt in VR. We followed that a month later, delivering on one of our big announcements from Connect last year, the ability to join Zoom meetings in workrooms. And today, the SketchUp app is launching, which is one of the most widely used design review tools for architects, engineers, and construction professionals. Also this month, the Microsoft Mesh preview will go public. Now, we're really excited about this because it's going to take training, onboarding, and other employee experiences to a whole new level. Then there's a big lineup of other experiences still in the works, Coming soon, we've got Adobe High5, Windows 365, Microsoft Teams and Workrooms, and Mural, just to name a few. Okay, it's time to talk about the thing that's nearest and dearest to my heart, which is what our own product teams have been up to since we were last here at Connect. For all the progress we've just showcased, we know it doesn't count for much unless we have the infrastructure in place to help businesses make the leap to VR with confidence. That's why at Connect last year, we announced the launch of MetaQuest for Business Open Beta, our solution to make MetaQuest devices work-ready. After listening to feedback from literally thousands of customers, we came away with 3 main lessons. Businesses are looking for a simple way to deploy Quest devices securely and at scale. IT admins want more control and more flexibility over the end user experience. And many businesses need a shared device model as they see immediate applications for that in their use cases. Now, we took all of those lessons into account, and we've been working hard over the last 12 months to evolve our product and address the feedback to get to the point where it's ready to help businesses unlock their full potential with mixed reality. Today, I'm pleased to say MetaQuest for Business is ready. We'll be making it widely available as a paid subscription to all businesses at the end of October. MetaQuest for Business will include updates for everything we learned in open beta and a few more features besides. We'll have identity and access management, which includes company-managed Meta accounts to ensure you can securely manage access to your devices. First and third-party device management, which is going to allow you to configure headsets with our admin console or via trusted partners like Microsoft Intune and VMware Workspace ONE. App management controls will let you deploy the right applications to the right people, including your line of business or custom applications. And of course, we have dedicated support, which ensures you can always get help when you need it. Quest for Business will also include a brand new shared mode, which allows your MetaQuest headsets to be used by multiple people, even if they don't have a Meta account. And we think that's going to be great for things like training. Now, Quest for Business is joining a broader ecosystem of products that will power the next evolution of work. And it's not the only new family member. As you saw earlier today, we're extending our MetaQuest 3 hardware line. MetaQuest 3 will unlock new possibilities and let businesses reimagine the world at work with a combination of mixed reality capabilities, powerful specs, and enhanced ergonomics. In addition to our first and third-party offerings and the content you saw coming from our ISVs earlier, we're also growing our roster of system integrators to help more and more organizations get started in their journey with mixed reality. And our technology partners are extending the value of our platform with a wide variety of integrations. It's never been easier to make the leap into mixed reality, no matter what business objective you have in mind. And it's only going to get better from here. And with that, folks, our time is up. I know we've covered a lot, but I hope the takeaways are clear. Mixed reality is revolutionizing the way we work today. Businesses are using mixed reality to be more efficient, more collaborative, and more connected, and they are seeing tangible business impacts. Meta's ecosystem is fueling that momentum, delivering innovative integrations with the likes of Adobe and Microsoft. And we're growing our product portfolio for work with 2 big launches to help companies embrace the power of MR, with MetaQuest 3 and MetaQuest for Business coming later in October. I honestly believe this is the best time to work at Meta, maybe the best time to work in tech. We have the opportunity to build things that are completely new, to pioneer new experiences, and to reshape the way people work. I hope you share that optimism. We're looking forward to partnering with you to transform your business. And if you want to keep up to date with everything we're doing to enable mixed reality at work, check out our website at forwork.meta.com. Thanks to everyone for being here today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your time at Connect.